இப்போ ஒரு இன்டர்வியூ எடுத்துக்கலாம். அதான் ஒரு இன்டர்வியூ எடுக்கிறாங்கன்னா சயின்டிஸ்டா இங்கதான் வீடு ஆபீஸ்ல தான் இருக்காங்க. இல்ல இல்ல இப்ப ஆன்லைன்ல ஏற்பாடு பண்ணிருக்காங்க.
So, Sundara, we are starting in about 3 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. I think still people are yet to join.
Yeah. They will join the. In fact, we have also given them the YouTube link. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Is it clear? Clear audio?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's very clear. Though. It's very clear.
Hello, Sundarda.
Hello. Hello. Who is this?
Hello, Rajiv here. Rajiv.
Hello.
Rajiv sir. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, কেমন আছেন?
Sundarda.
কেমন
Rajiv
আছেন?
here. ভালো। তো
ভালো। আমি সবসময় ভালো
হ্যাঁ
থাকি। ভালো থাকলে তো বয়স কমতে যায় না?
আচ্ছা
আসুন না এখানে। সিঙ্গাপুরে আসুন পরের বছর। পরের বছর আসুন এখানে প্ল্যান করুন।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ করোনা যাক
করোনা যাবে না কোথায়? ও থাকবে। করোনা
It is.
আমাদের
It
সাথে
is.
থাকবে। We have
It
to
is. It
fight
is streaming
করোনা।
live. The.
হুম?
It is streaming live.
Okay.
হ্যাঁ
We have to manage diseases with.
So
We
Priya
have to fight and move on. Anything.
বছর সিঙ্গাপুর এসো
Yeah. I think now it's live streaming in YouTube. Huh?
It is 5 p.m. India time and 7:30 p.m. Singapore time. And we have a birthday boy who is sweet 60 years young today. None other than Vijay Raghava Seshadri Sundararajan, whom we all call him as Sundarda, my mentor, and above all, my spiritual mentor as well. Whenever we need him, he's always there. Whenever we wanted to speak, some kind of scientific problems, that we are obsessed with. He's an amazing person. He loves kids. He loves traveling, and he loves advices. He loves wonderful songs. He loves music. He's a wonderful flutist. He plays wonderful flute based songs. We have one of the best data scientists in the world today. So before we start, before I give a brief introduction about him, we will play a birthday song today, celebrating Sundarda. So birthday. So that ends a wonderful happy birthday, and I think we also have wonderful small greeting made by some of the kids. Boy, Sundara, I know you would probably love it. So I'll just quickly play this. It's still loading, so that
Hello, it's not audible.
yeah. So I have another song which probably we can play it later. So this comes to the end of beautiful this thing made by the kids. Sundarda obtained his PhD, and then he went on to gain a lot of postdoctoral experience developing a lot of databases. Uh, he worked with amazing bioinformatics scientists of the world, which he will probably tell in his own words. And after his brief stint in University of Cape Town, where he worked with Christophers and a group of other team members, he developed the highly cited database on antimicrobial resistance, which constitutes all bacterial proteins. And then we came with each other in 2008. That was God's will to get connected to Sundarda. So that was when I was finishing my PhD, and then I was also involved in development of a database on hypothetical proteins. All the 5 web servers developed in Bioclues They were all written by Sundar, all hundreds of lines of codes. I mean, his head has got a lot of hundreds of lines of codes, written with wonderful PHP and SQL codes. Happy birthday again, and your first words, what you would like to say. Yeah, please, thank you for your time.
I all thanks for your patience and waiting to hear something. I don't think we are going to bore all of you. Yeah. Um, okay. You can ask questions and things. Yeah.
Yes, yes, Sundar. So the very first thing, Sundar. So how did you, get in touch with data science? What inspired you to take up bioinformatics and data science as a discipline right from your career front?
Actually, a lot of forums students were also asking that in bioinformatics, what is the scope? Um, in 1985, the DBT has started the initiative on the bioinformatics centers and things. Initially, I was one of the earlier staff joined the bioinformatics institution. Details I don't want to go about it. There were many centers, and initially it started like program the I think it's GCG tools. Pune acquired it, and they gave the first training. If I remember, 90 something like that. That time we used to have a lot of um, a sequence, all these kind of how we do things. Now it's very easy through like a FASTA or anything. But that time it was very difficult to obtain any sequence, and but still we were able to get it manually, collect it in the postal way, and analyze things. It was a tough, but it was a very enjoyable time. But now everything goes in a terabyte data. In the click of mouse, we go around the world and able to get anything done in the through our smartphone. Also, is more powerful than anything else. That time we used to have microvac system, and it was a very enjoyable time when I joined there. It was like a research, management of user, and whatnot. It started like um, even though it started like a biology, and then it was just like getting a baby of bioinformatics and things. Even though somebody named it, but they were also not sure what is that and what is how things are going. Even in curriculum, they used to teach calculus and other things, mathematics. I was wondering why they are teaching all this. And also, most of the schools they started like teaching C coding, or it has become a 50% like a coding courses, not on a real way of analyze data or something. Because that time it was not very clear how it is directing, how things are going. It was a very primitive stage in, but slowly things have improved, and I also got inspired how things are happening, and so it would be sometimes people say like Mad Max to come out of a government job, central government secured job, and go for a study further in like that. But something inspired me that job is always there, but it's only a 10 to 5 or 10 to 6, and we do something, we cater to some research, publish something. But can we improve ourselves? Can we learn something so that we can inspire several thousands of people around the world? So this made me to think, okay, let us not bother job, and then jump into this because I got a full fellowship from Singapore, which is very prestigious, including staying, allowance, everything, paying the NUS university fee, which is very tough getting admission there. Let us just take a leave if possible. And Almighty's wish. I almost I give up. Later in the end of my talk, I'll tell about the give up or not give up with a small story. So I thought, okay, let us see how the Almighty. Last minute, even though I arranged everything, Nobody was sure whether I can fly or not. Last minute, my office gave a leave, and I was able to fly to Singapore and came here. And even the university was saying, "Hey, you are not supposed to come, right?" That's what we heard. No, no, I am coming. I came here. That was the story. I landed in Singapore to learn more on the research front. Some of you know the Singapore and all. It is very good for if you want to concentrate your education and things. Because nothing can trouble you like a power shutdown or any other things on the road. Everything is so smooth, as if you see nobody is there on the earth. Everybody does their work and it's so silent, and we can do a lot. That time I used to have almost up to 11 o'clock. We used to work, go to library. Around the up to 12, the libraries are open, and we can acquire a lot of things is possible. Only we have to decide whether you want to do or you want to move on, how you want to move on. We have to plan things. So slowly, then I realized my PhD also is a very tough thing, because joining a PhD is very difficult, and also getting a scores is a even though initially I thought maybe not a big issue, but after landing here I realized it's not a joke. It's a very tough getting a B plus in a foreign university. Thing. Otherwise, you are out. Means you have to quit the PhD, something like that. It's not very easy outside. People think, okay, I join, but they cannot sustain. It's very difficult. Even I struggled a lot initially. Instead of 2 years, I took 2.5 years to complete my um, with B plus. Because if you don't get B plus, then it will be again you have to take another module in another semester. It's same like that. Even though whether you pass or not, but for a PhD is minimum ranking that B plus is required.
Right.
And also, not like most of the other universities where you pass, you get the marks. No, because here they go for a percentile. Like they see that only few percent people go to the B plus, and some go to C, and some go to D, some go to A plus, which is fixed by the university. So they put an algorithm in such a way that automatically your marks would be lowered or increased depending on how you are faring the fellow students. That's a very tricky thing these universities play, and many people have to quit. Even many of my friends they quit PhD and took master's degree certificate and went off because to sustain in PhD for that level is very tough. Anyway, if you don't give up anything in life, always you can succeed. Maybe not today or tomorrow, but it is guaranteed. I see like my life itself, how we only graduated through our parents. After that, we thought that is not sufficient. We cannot. That is a stagnant. After some time, we feel that okay, we got some job. Even many of you may not, even Prashant may not know. Initially, after my graduation, I was doing a very simple jobs, not a very big jobs. But if I had settled like that, right, that's the end of it. No science, nothing. It's the end of my everything. But suddenly one day, I thought, I'm not going to be here for a long this job. Okay, why not I do something? Then I tried to get that time in the 80s the computing things were coming, and one of my friend I even forgot his name. He joined a small diploma in a computer center. He paid the money, but he cannot sustain. He has no mathematical knowledge. So one day he called me and said, "Can you come and join this course?" He paid everything. Then I said, "Oh my goodness." Then I went there, and it was in T Nagar in Chennai. Then the institution they said, "Okay, as I agree, you are doing this job after 8 p.m. You want to study this 8 to 9. Okay, I can come 8 to 9 every day." So I went every day almost over a year and got my diploma in computer science. That time the C language was just coming in, so even they included that, and it was very good that I could complete the diploma in a part time, just studying in 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. over 1 year, doing my simple job, marketing job, something like that. But that I felt that that is a breakthrough because everybody need a breakthrough. If you work hard, the breakthrough is given by God. So then I joined a CSAR institution in Chennai. As that time we don't call data analyst or anything. We just call a programmer, or we do some computer coding or something like that. It doesn't matter. So I almost written, I don't know how many thousands of line of codes I wrote in COBOL language that time. Um, my family used to see whenever there is a thing I cannot solve, I solve it at the midnight around 2 o'clock. Unless I solve it, I cannot sleep. So I bring my prints of several hundred pages and put it on the floor and run through it like a mat and see where is the problem, where it is starting, where the loop fails. Everything I analyze on the floor, and then finally I know why it is not working. Once I solve, I go to bed. Next day I solve it. So we have developed beautiful accounting system. I don't know how whether it still is used or not in CSR laboratory. That was we are a set of accounting, budgeting, lot of things. And that was the primary project from CSIR in the way back 80s, somewhere in 80s, 80 plus, 80, 85, something like that. My thing got changed. And then while doing that, somebody told, why not I join a government thing? Then I got a central government job. Um, and then it was going about 10 years class. And then, of course, as I mentioned, I came to Singapore to do increase my knowledge so that I can increase knowledge in thousands of students and those who need it. That's the main thing. If you die with our knowledge, nothing will happen. Even the earth has no benefit by human body. It's just no use. But if we can use our brain to teach millions of people, at least 100 students, if we can make a strong foundation, then they in turn multiply. So the knowledge will not go down and get wasted. That's my idea. We have to do all recreation, we have to do everything. But the only thing I say is never give up. We have to fight. Because I have seen in my life, even if you get a small job, yes, still you can fight and come back. As the in Kon Banega Karorpati, our who Amitabh says, setback ka jawab, comebacks say they do. So that's the thing I always think is a
Yeah.
important thing for anyone. Yeah, yes,
Right,
Prash.
wonderful, wonderful. I mean, it's absolutely an amazing inspiration. I know, but Sundar, you have worked with the world's best bioinformaticists, and you yourself, have been a wonderful bioinformaticist. If you really think and look back, you worked with Vladimir Bajek. So, how good was your experience working with him, though?
After my close to my graduation in Singapore, um, Bajik was saying how I'm very hard. Even though I was not working with him, I was working with another very famous scientist, or he's a main person in universe also, Lim Soon Wang. I was working with him, and he called me. He say he's going back to Cape Town. I say, where is it? It's in South Africa. You want to go there for your postdoc? I said casually, yeah, I can go if you are going to do everything for me. Okay, I will do everything for you because you are a very rare person. Then I said, what is rare in me? I never know because you have a very powerful computing capability. You can crack anything. Even I have seen you cracked a lot of algorithm, developed new algorithm, and you coded it, tested it. Everything you have done on your own, and also you have a very high research capability because these two are not seen in many of the scientists. Either they are very good in research, but they cannot use computing things much. They are not a good coder. They have to depend on someone who never understands science. That's a big problem, a huge gap between science and coding people. They don't understand anything. They just say, can I code this, then I will get paper. They don't know what is the impact of it, whether they are proving something. They assume that once we code, then it is done. It's not like that. So he forced me to go. Then I said, okay, my wife also will get, yes, to sponsor. Okay, he said, okay, I'll give you a very good he really gave a very good deal. That time itself, he was giving 5,000 US dollar, something like that, in way back in 2007 to 2010. Um, Sunby was a very beautiful place. It's one of the leading bioinformatics center where a lot of papers in nature science are created. Then I was also inspired. It's a good thing to go there. Really, it was so good. The only thing when we were shopping sometime in Sunday, suddenly he come before me and say, "Hey, what are you doing? Can we go to office? I will take care of your food, everything. I will drop you in home. Don't worry." Then he took me around 10 o'clock in the morning, and night 10 o'clock he dropped me back in my home. Then he told, "Don't worry, because he has to do something, because I believe he can finish it." That's how he was able to do, and I enjoyed. I always enjoy working. Even today, you can see I'm in the office. Nobody there. I came in the morning. Still, we are in the office. I finished a lot of things, and once we have dedication, the interest, anything we can resolve. Because initially the web server was very tough, but slowly learned and then cracked it. Then after that, one after another, and a lot of publications were done, and we learned a lot of things, and we built a lot of things. Then it becomes a very interesting thing. Once we are able to build a small room, then we love to do. Why not we build a palace? Something like that goes on. We can do something on this. So the South Africa trip was very good, and the 3 years was very useful. That almost 8 to 10 papers we published, which are all ranked very high. One paper in the antimicrobial, which Prashant mentioned, is 10 and above. That's one. And even all these databases, right? One thing I want to tell, we are very sorry that we missed Vladimir Bojic. Suddenly um, passed away. But still, his works are, he has 400 plus papers and a lot of patents and everything. Some of the things I even like to see whether we can do a rework, means update, and we can reproduce something, and a lot of things are pending actually. Even we developed a lot of text mining things, which are all very good ones. We made a system, network. I'm keen to do for the COVID one. So we will see how we are going to use the Galaxy students and build something, a new innovative system where we are able to what is happening, how we can solve, what is the solution. Is there any possibility? Uh, Various things, always the phobia is there. If you say COVID, people say, hey, don't go out. I say, don't bother because COVID cannot go out because we have to sustain, we have to defeat. We have been defeating a lot of viruses and things like that. Only thing we should know how to tackle things. We have to know the enemy, then it's very difficult. We know the enemy, then we should be careful. But India and all,
Perfect.
I realize don't put mask or they gather off a meter. There are 10 people around, so it's a big problem in Singapore and all. They very people are very disciplined, controlled, and government say if I see you without mask, just $300 only. You
Right.
are yeah. So people are okay. $300 is quite a big money. So better to buy a $1 mask and put it, which is better than 300 times. So if we follow something, we can achieve always these kind of things. Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Da. I mean, maybe Sundarda also do not know. It was in 2007 when I was wrapping up my PhD in Denmark, and then I happened to meet Vladimir Bajik in a conference somewhere in Switzerland, I believe. I forgot. And then I was discussing about the hypothetical protein work that I was working on. And then Bajik at that point of time, he said, hey buddy, you are so young. I'm very proud of one Indian who is none other than Sundar. He has developed an antimicrobial database. He's still developing that. He can write hundreds lines of codes, run through the database work. Why don't you develop, something like that? Why don't you meet him? So you see, that's the inherent, greatness of Sundarda. And then I immediately got in touch with Sundarda way back in 2007 December, one fine day. And later on, we moved the server to Bioclues.org portal. remember we were finishing the deadline to submit the manuscript of um, Hypo in 2010, I believe. And the Hypo database, hung up. There was a small glitch, and Sundarda did not sleep the entire night until he put up that particular website, back in track. And that's the wonderful magnanimity of Sundarda, whom I really cherish forever. Is a wonderful person to work with. Second thing, Sundarda, I mean, I wanted to always ask. You have worked steadfastly in different countries, Singapore, India, and and of course now South Africa as well. What is the prime difference that you find in terms of doing science? Especially, I'm talking about the young scientists. How do they really perceive, science as a kind of a discipline whenever they do research?
Actually, yeah, the South Africa culture is quite different. It's really, I loved it. But even, to be honest, we cannot get it in Asia. The idea is, one day I call my boss. I say, I feel not well. Okay, don't come. Huh? After, you just sleep now. Then after 2 hours, I send a message. Say, are you okay now? I say, okay. Can you open your laptop? Yes. Can you do this small thing? He started like this. I was so fresh and got inspired and started doing something. Then I almost 4 5 hours I could do. That is the spirit actually, because we don't go by 10 to 5. I'm here 10 o'clock. Whether you are good or bad, you are energetic or you are very tired, it doesn't matter, because in Asia and all, in many places, we follow the timings 10 to 5. There is very simple. If I am don't feel like, say don't come, because no use. If you come, nothing you can do. You can just take a break. There is nothing like you take a leave or anything. You can just not come. It doesn't matter. That culture is really is a boosting thing. We enjoy it like that. Suddenly we work anytime. If we are very active, we can do work. If we are not active, just sleep or do something else. So that kind of way of science, really got surprised slowly in 3 years. The amount of work I produced, right, is maybe it will take 10, 15 years if I was in Asia. Because here and all we have to give a report to our whoever is the fund organizer, whoever it is. They pay money, so every 3 months we have to put lot of reports and things. So most of the scientists are bogged down with all this kind of work, the project, um, and what do you call budget, and also getting things are becoming very difficult. It's going through rounds and rounds of. Even I remember, I don't want to tell. I remember buying some computer. It took almost 1 year. Then I realized, my goodness, why? It's all lot of committees and I don't know what to say. But it should be free and fair. I am good. I work today. It doesn't matter. Out of 7 days, I can work 4 days or 5 days or any time. Then we can think properly, not like when our mind is free, like those great scientists we used to sing, they see the sky. I think what he is doing. Then they relax and lot of things. The brain goes energized and they think lot and crack lot of things. That's how the science are built up, not by running something.
True.
It's not like we put an engine and then we can solve something. It's never happened.
Right. Right. Yeah, Sunanda, I mean, if you see, I think in terms of development of bioinformatics, I think there's a lot of scope and synergies with respect to the kind of generation of computers and internet or bandwidth that we're using. So we are at the helm of getting fifth generation of computational speed, the data latency or whatever. So how do you see this fifth generation shaping up the data science world?
Yeah, for we can say at least 2 decades from 90 and all. This was not, nobody has called data science. Even, you will be surprised to see when I came to NUS, I got my PhD in computer science because even I was doing some part of bioinformatics, all this. They say there is no lab or no school can give such a certificate. All under computer science because you use computers only, right? So all things are under computer science. Even the data science was even a few years back, 2 3 years back, they were never called as a data science. They say it's under computer science or informatics science. It was like a two category, hardcore computing or informatics. How you deal with informatics, algorithm, all these things. Very recently, few years back, all the university in NUS also started data science. They realized if you go only computing, it becomes more of computer things, like hardcore, like engineering kind of thing. But that may not be useful for data science because data science is totally a different thing. You need a knowledge, but not that depth knowledge in engineering. The only thing is you need to know how you find the things within the data. Is the data useful, or that can I do something, or can I ask questions? That's what I was telling students. Of questions: how, why, when, all this. Then is the data is capable of answering. If you go to a banking, we need to know whether a set of the customers are good to introduce some scheme, how much is going to be a turnaround, they want to join or they may not join. These are the very tricky because here people have money, but they have their own thought whether to put or not, why, all these things comes out. Even though it may be a genuine company or anything, because the government takes care of most of the things. Genuinity is very high in some countries, but still people have their own thought. So these are the things question. Then the data science comes into picture. It say, okay, I can narrow down the set of people. It is possible. How? So they have the, this is how the data science is built up for bank or insurance, or even in genetic. We can say, I want to know the function of a protein or what
Right.
this gene. All so things are being developed as a data science very recently, even though it was basically like a bioinformatics or informatics based.
Yeah, go ahead, Tom. Go ahead. Yeah, please.
Yeah. So that's how we see
So,
now. It's, data science has become a much broader way in handling any domains. It's not like any particular domain. Any domain now needs to have the data science, and where we have questions. When I have data, I create data and use data. It's not a data science. When I ask questions, is my customers are good enough? Then the data science comes into play. Those who are working in banks say, I'm also working in data science, but they are not answering any questions. They are only using the system to get the cash given to customers. Once the data science means in a higher level, they ask questions. Who are a good customer, or how we can introduce a new scheme to inspire some part of a customers. All these are answered in bank or other domains. Even in students thing, some universities are trying, because some people when they are not able to cope up, then what they do. So the teachers don't have time, professors. So there can be any system which will have idea in giving some additional notes relevant to a particular student skill and knowledge. That's how the system, not yet, it's not yet ready, but these things are under research. So if such things is possible to cope up or make up some people, some student who are slightly lagging, then it can come up very well. That's the idea. So these all various aspects going. Data science is going to be blooming up, and going to be a very good one, which is going to be very useful to all the people, like students or whoever it is, because it is going to solve their problem. Even personalized medicine, we are talking, because doctors nowadays say, okay, this problem, take this set of medicine. F1 button, this. problem. F2 button, another list of medicine. That's all. They don't go in such a way to say how much is good for a particular person. Is there a personalized medicine? So all these things are thought through the data science years to go, and which is going to be a very good thing, and we will have a very good effort on this, because we want to solve individual problems, not as a total problem. Yes, Prashant. Prashant, you are there? Okay, Prashant is back. Um, okay, well, Prashant is coming for next question. I will give you a small story. Maybe, do we know the Robert the Bruce? How many of us remember the Robert Bruce? Robert Bruce was a king of Scotland. He was badly defeated by England people, and he was supposed to be killed. And he went to a cave and lived there for a while and thought he should die. But on seeing a spider, any of you know this story? Robert Bruce and the spider?
No, though I don't know.
Okay,
Now this is Sugunakar.
So I got a call from Prash. There was some problem in his internet, so we will continue. Yeah, sorry for the
okay,
interference, Harishan.
yeah, no
So
problem.
I think the talk was going on very well, and I can ask you a question. Any other can ask, but how can you see mathematics? The role of mathematics in the basic science and in overall society in the near future. Yeah, that's what we want to listen from you.
Okay, all of us know 9/11, what happened in US, right? The Twin Tower got crashed and several thousand of people died. Even the US people, they were not thinking that bioinformatics is a good one or how much is good and all. They were trying to see how to find people who really died. Then the question came how to see, because everything is crashed together. All people, everything is cannot identify anyone very easily. Then someone say, I heard about this bioinformatics. Then somebody say, hey, how you are telling bioinformatics what it's going to do? Then they called a very small company in US and asked them, can you do something on this? I don't know whether you can do. Then they said, yeah, we'll try. They took all the 4,000 people's whatever blood sample, all that, they converted DNA, and they went to all their home, collected all the particles from the comb and things, and they made a matching. Only managed to identify who are the real people died in the 9/11 in US. That is the power of bioinformatics. The only thing is how we are using, how we are able to understand the need and put the informatic tools and things. Then that's where the reality comes up, the bioinformatics. Name is slightly going on changing, because when I say bioinformatics, people may think, oh my goodness, he is a biology guy. Is not useful to bank or any other thing. But it is not the real thing because the base is informatics. We use it for gene or we use it for producing a clinical or building a disease model to see who is the person who is having a disease or anything. Informatics. It started with biology because where the experiments in biology is very expensive. So that's how it started long back, 2, 3 decades back. Can we do something to predict the function of a protein or which gene is responsible? So that's how somebody got inspired in starting this bioinformatics. Then it expanded in all the areas, but still the base is the same bioinformatics only. Then the informatics is used in all the domains. I have been all the places. Even I used the informatic tools in the vector prediction, how the dengue can spread, how it is going to spread. This really helped in stopping the dengue in Singapore in 2015 because it was going exploding. Then I said, the idea is mosquitoes, um, usually they think, right? They think it's vertical. Then I said, no, it's not vertical. It's horizontal. Spread is small. From one block, it goes to the other block in horizontal. Then slightly it go back to the same block in a different way. It's not like within the same block it spreads. Because earlier they were not, when the one block is having some problem, they thoroughly check that block only, not the nearby block. Then again they see nearby block got so many cases. Then they go there. But they ignore the other blocks. Like that it was happening. The dengue has its own pattern, it's a horizontal pattern. Then I predicted, then they realized, okay, the entire surrounding as a square they should tackle. Then suddenly the 400 plus cases slowly reduced and they could control it very well. So the informatics tools can be used anyway. Only thing is we need to have some expert knowledge how we are using, what we are going to answer, and that's all the things comes by experiment, experiences, and then we are able to use it.
Right. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sundarda, and also Harpreet,
Very well said.
who was managing the things in between. Sundarda, what is the secret behind running or writing, thousands of lines of codes? How did you do this? And it's quite amazing.
All creativity. See, if you think, even if people say, right, you want to buy a coffee or you want to make it. If you give a choice, many people say, oh, okay, let us go to that shop. I said, no, I will make it. So if you have the habit of making, right, then you can create anything. In coding is, if you think, see, everybody think, right, in one, in the serial, one 8-year girl, suddenly she got a laptop. She take the laptop, run around the village and say, I got my laptop. This can do everything for you. Then suddenly she stopped somewhere when two persons were trying to calculate how much due he has to pay to him or anything. He say, wait, I'll ask my laptop. It will tell you. Then she put button and say, why the laptop is not telling what is the answer? Then they say, oh, you don't know, the laptop may not tell. So even though she's a 8-year girl, I was watching a Hindi serial. Then that's the thing, because computer is an idiot machine, but it's like a ghost. You can, if you use it like a ghost, you can do anything. It can do anything, but only thing you have to carefully use it, but you have to intelligently use it. If you use it properly, you can do anything. That's the idea. So if I can use a computer, right, make it to work for me. If you think like that, you can write millions of code. I think at least I have written 500,000 codes so far. So it's not a big deal. And once you establish a code, right, then writing more codes, right, it's not a big deal. It's you know how to command the slave or the ghost. It can do. Even in here in Singapore, when I joined here, the data is in a terabyte size. One file is so big. Then even it was given to your company to break it and bring something, right? They failed actually. After some time, they say, my system is crashing. Then all say, hi, how this guy is able to do it? We don't know how. Is he using a very big machine? I say, I'm using a less powerful machine than you. Only thing is, you should know how to use your computer. Computer cannot do everything. You give a
Right.
data, it will crash. It won't say sorry, finish. Then you must use it intelligently. Then it can do nicely. So I made up an idea how it's possible and whether the computer should read all together or I'll allow it to read in a part by in a cycle. Slowly the computer was. It went 10 days to read that 1 terabyte data and break it into 500,000 codes, 500,000 data, and then it is easy for us to process it. Again, same. Only thing, if you are having interest and if you want to use that ghost, the ghost is at your service. But if that interest is there, you can write any million of codes. I can teach people. Even one example I used to say when I was in Calcutta, right? I used to teach. Always I used to teach. I don't collect money. One day, my wife's office colleague came and he said, "You are teaching a lot of things. Huh? Can you teach me what is this computer and all?" He said, "I've never seen a computer." He's a typist. He's a hardcore typist in a very leading market bureau where my wife was working. Anyway, that I made him as a Oracle DBA in a 1 year's time. He has no knowledge in anything. 6 months for me to teach what is coding. Even though he has never seen a computer, I made him every day. I put several hours and taught him slowly. I wrote on board one-to-one teaching. And finally, in a year's time, he passed Microsoft Oracle DBA exam and he left his job and joined in a very big MNC as a Oracle DBA. Hey, wow, it's how nice. I was just typing something which has no use for me. Now I can do anything in the computing world. That's the thing. If you have interest, it's possible to crack the computer, learn things, and make it to use for you.
Right. Wonderful. Today, if you see, there was a Galaxy meeting, and Sundara was very curious. Although he worked on Galaxy-based modules and at the back end, he still, has that, zeal and passion, to learn something about, what Galaxy is. That shows his, wonderful down to earthness. He interacted with his mentees and all his particular students today as well. That shows, how much. Sincere passion he bestows towards science. So moving further, the last couple of questions in there is a small trade-off between science, conscience, and spirituality. Take up as a scientist, as a data scientist, how do you consider spirituality as an integral part of science?
Actually, it's the other way. Science is a baby. Science is a very small baby step in spirituality. Spirituality is the reality. Everything is there. Science is trying to understand what is around us. But spirituality is the one which is already existing over billions of years. So if we go down into spirituality, because we are born not as a spiritual person, not like any big Ramakrishna Paramamsa or something like that, because they are all born like that from birth. I can see goddess Kali moving around and things like that in Calcutta. Even though in Dakshineshwar we used to go in Calcutta and things are there. But we are normal people. We are born and from age of 2 years we are asked to pray things from others and read, get marks. This is a line. But eventually we forget what is spirituality on the down. Sometime later in years we think, okay, before retirement we do something like this so that it is good. Spirituality is everything. And science is a very
Right.
small portion where it is trying to understand what is there. But spirituality knows everything. All the answers are in spirituality. But the only thing is the connection between science and spirituality is very thin. It takes very long years for scientists to come practically. But spirituality gives direction. That's what I have realized. Even in my research questions, if I don't get answer, I go to meditation, then I get answers. Really I can see the directions coming very well, and that's where the spirituality is more um, bigger circle than the one dot of science in it.
Right. That's where Siddhartha has introduced me to wonderful spiritual world. That's what I really learned from him. Thank you so much, Siddhartha. One question from Sabarinath. He says that he's an MNC biotech and he is a self-learner in data science. And he wanted to seek suggestions from you on what things could be the best to start with and what not.
We can organize some because in December we are going to have our workshop and things, right? Maybe we can run through because it's not like just I tell like a prescription, like a doctor to say, okay, you take this, your problem is solved. It's not like that because data science is not like a curriculum and gives a job or something like that. It's not a very easy thing also. If you think in a broader way, data scientists are paid very big, wow, fat money. It's not a very easy thing. No, they have to die up because if the data is given and they cannot bring out something right, then they have to look for other job. It's not a very easy thing because it's not like an engineering job. Engineering job is I know how to use the tool. Any company can put me, okay, I know how to use this. Okay, you can use this, you can get. But data science is not like that because any data can you do something? It's not a very easy thing to do also. So that's why very few data scientists are selected, maybe one in each organization. Very few. In bank also, when I was working in data science group, very few were there. All are PhDs, but very few were there. And then we had data engineers and other sub staff who manipulate things. So person, before going into data science, you have to commit. You have to commit in a way so that you have to see what is the job spectrum, what is the plan, what you are going to do. Then you have to decide how you want to jump into the data science. Knowing some tools in data science is also a part of data science. Knowing the algorithm is also a part of data science. But why you want to learn? That question you have to put to yourself. What you are planning to do? Are you going to be a data scientist? Or you want to be a data engineer or a data analyst? Or what you are going to do? How you are planning? This tells what you have to do. Not like I learned Python today, then tomorrow I will become a data scientist. No, it's only a 5% thing. I know Python is part of it. That use not depending on others. Because my thought, if I can write my code, I know how to get the answer for it. Instead of explaining, like that's what I told in the some time back. Research and innovative question and computing thing are totally. So it's difficult to draw a line. I use my Python. No, I can bring answer. No, it's not the question. How you bring answer is a very big research and science, not the technology, like how to write a Python code. So anyone want to jump into the data science need to have a basic idea what they want to do.
Right, right. Wonderful, Sundarda. I mean, this is amazingly put. I know, Sundarda, it is 8:30 p.m. In Singapore. You need to travel another 1 hour to reach home, and you got up at 3:30 in the morning, and you slept almost at 11:30, 12 in the midnight. I know. You must be pretty tired all the way. So, how is your 60th birthday like, Sundarda?
I think it's only 30th birthday, right?
Yeah, Sundarda,
I feel
sorry.
it is only 30th birthday.
Oh, you're just 30, right? Yes,
When my,
you're only 30. Yeah, by the way.
when my brother asked, "How are you young?" I say, "Yeah, I am your daughter's brother, not your daughter's father." Wow, he was laughing. He
Right,
said, "Yeah, I'm very young, only slightly older than your daughter." Huh? Then he was laughing. That's the spirit. Actually, if you have a will, you can solve anything in here. That's the thing.
right. So wonderful that it's also Sabrina's birthday, who asked this question on how to, what things to do or what things not to do on data science. But happy birthday, Sabrina as well. But two questions in fact, but I'll just try to club them. One is from Robandeep Saini and the other one is from Ayushman. So they say that how do we go about bringing up Pareto principle. Does Pareto principle, work everywhere in terms of doing a good project? And would that really bring some kind of interdisciplinarity? How do we where do we think is a trade-off between these two? Yeah.
See, that's what I told you. Example like Asia to South Africa. If you think of project, milestone, how we are going to do, rather if you put whether can I answer something, if you put the project as a question mark, put a big question mark, what this project can bring out. Can I bring a patent? Not only about a patent or bringing some research papers, that comes automatically. But if you think whether we can answer something, it becomes more interesting and we are able to automatically do whether we want to use these tools or this material and things like that. So the project should be based on innovative ideas and bringing some answers, not as to cover up the funding. I do this experiment, I bring some chemical. When we think on this, right, we are not answering any question. We are just moving the train on the same track, not that we are trying to see whether the train can fly or not. The projects are only in the horizontal way. It doesn't climb up. It cannot come up and say whether anything can be answered or not. If we think on that, the projects all can be a better find and it's more interesting and we can solve a lot of things.
Yeah, wonderful, Sundarda. It's been quite amazing having you. Once again, a wonderful birthday. It's been truly inspirational and motivational to have in Sciversation with you. You always inspired many young folks, including me. Always, knocked at the hearts of young children, including our kids. Sundarda spends absolutely hectic times. On Saturdays, he goes to music, he goes to temple, he teaches online. Poems. He does an adventure kids. He also teaches bioinformatics for school children. Which is a brainchild along with Renuka that he has been doing. He does wonderful projects and whatnot. So he does everything. So we wish Sundarda a very happy birthday. I wish everyone, unmute your microphone and probably wish happy birthday,
One minute,
Sundarda.
1 minute, Prashant, 1 minute. Huh?
Happy
Okay,
birthday.
1 minute, huh? Prashant. I want
Yes,
to
sir.
finish my story, huh? 1 minute. Huh? Okay, I
Yeah, yeah,
started the
please.
story on Robert Bruce, right? Many of us
Right.
forgot the Robert Bruce story. I want to tell what is the story Robert Bruce and the spider. If somebody, any of you remember that, it is a very inspiring thing. When Robert Bruce was brutally defeated by the England king, and then he went to a cave and started living there. After some time, he thought he should die himself. Then he raised his sword and saw above. He saw a spider going down, and he was wondering what the spider is doing. The spider was trying hard enough to go up. Again, it falls down. Again, it tries up. And after several attempts, finally it managed to reach the roof. Then he was thinking, if a spider can do that as a king, even though I am got defeated, why should I kill myself? Is it possible that I can again come up? Thought of thinking, if a spider can do, I can do it very well. So he managed to replan, and capture the England. He defeated the England people in, I think it's in quite long back, but that is a real story. I always tell students, if a spider can do, we can do. Yeah, any human can do. So if you think you are a very bigger than a spider, is a 1 millimeter spider, then you can do anything. Because a lot of people, I see students, they phobia going to fail in exam, they suicide and things. It's a very funny thing. Life is not by exam. If you are brilliant in something, like the Three Idiot movie, you can come up with anything and everything. It's a very classic example of movies like Three Idiot and all. If you are good, no need to be good in mathematics. You can be good in other things. You can come up always. You can crack anything because God has given something for everyone which is not given to others. Always, if you think one day God will show this is the thing you are good at. If you catch it up, it is yours. You will be one of the big scientists or a big engineer. You can make anything in the world. That's what I want to tell those who are young. Never give up. You can always fight, because I've seen in my life, if I fight, I can win. Because from a very simple job, I can remember it was a 200 rupees job or something like that. Now it's going to the big fat price now in foreign, because they want me. They don't want me to get retired. I also don't want to get retired. I can work another 10 years, 15 years. It's very nice to crack a lot of things, and that's where we need to do, because life has to go like a Japanese people. They work from 7 to 7. When I ask, talk someone on the road, right? They won't bother you. They just go on because they don't want to waste 1 second instead of working. They are very hard working people. Then I thought, where are we? We are just in Asia also, but we want to relax, adda marna hai, and then we eat, go to a tea shop. We waste a lot of time. We want to waste a lot of time, and we feel we have done a good thing, but we never ask before going to bed, have we done anything today? And finally the answer is almost nothing. So if you answer this question to you, whether we have done anything good today, whether we help someone, we helped our sign, we help some student, then things can go up in a very better way. Okay, thank you.
Very well said. What an inspiring story that you have told us. Your life is also a wonderful inspiration. Thank you so much, Sundar, for your time and energy today. It's truly inspiring, motivational, and I'm sure many people who are also watching in YouTube and later on will really take this inspiration. I think you should go home and take rest. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
obliging to our request
yeah,
and
I have to
coming.
go and cook my dinner actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Happy birthday, Sundarda. Happy birthday,
thank you,
Sundarda.
Andre. Thank you all. Many
yeah,
have wished. Thank you so much.
yeah,
Thank you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, sir.
Thank you. Thank
Happy
you.
birthday, Sundarda.
yeah.
Happy
Thank
birthday,
you.
sir.
Thank you all.
So in fact, we missed that thing actually. I thought of playing that video again, but unfortunately, that was not playing actually. So what
No,
I'll do is
that video
I'll
sound is not okay. Even I got it
yeah.
right. The sound is not okay in the video. All the sounds are not
And we are using again a happy birthday song here.
No, actually, it doesn't work, I suppose, because the sound comes from the same output, and then the output it doesn't take it.
no. The video I received, it doesn't have a sound actually. It's not recorded properly. Anyway, silent is the best powerful thing in the world.
So that's it for today. Thank you so much, everyone. Wishing Sundar a happy birthday again, and we'll have one more in Sciversation next week. Thank you so much, Sundar, for your time. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Bye bye. All of you take care. Be safe and be happy. All the time be happy. Wherever, however, whatever you are doing, you can always win. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you so much. Thank you.